y'all caught me, didn't you? Y'all caught me, didn't you? Come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Y'all come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. I know it's been a while since y'all seen my face. I know. I know. But it's okay because I'm up in here tonight, y'all. I most certainly am. I'm up in heartburn and all when I'm up in here. Okay. Come on in here. Come on, cause we got a conversation we're gonna have tonight, and it's a conversation that I'm pretty sure it's gonna help somebody. Y'all know that's what this platform is all about anyway. So welcome, 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 welcome to Miss J's Unfiltered Talk Show and Podcast. Yes, it's your queen, me, Miss J. Y'all let me give me something to drink. Hold on for a minute. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know I don't fake for nothing. Y'all already know how authentic I am over here. But yeah, come on in here, come on in here, come on in here. Now tonight's topic, as I stated, um is dealing with being a daughter and also not having a father in the home, which I think that would be constitutes like sort of a fatherless daughter, not having that father in that home, and how you can come through, you can get through forgiveness through the pain. Okay. So my guest tonight, I'm not gonna hold this long. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. My guest tonight, that is her journey. And she's coming on to share her story as usual with the hopes of somebody being able to grasp onto this and it help somebody. Okay. So my guest tonight is Miss Lori. Let me get ready to bring her up. It's Miss Lori Houston. Okay. She is the CEO, founder, and the host of her own talk show as well. It's called Let's Talk. Let's Talk, excuse me, y'all. Let's Talk Live with Lori. The waiting room. I love that. I love that, y'all. The waiting room. Yes. Y'all know what? Y'all put y'all hands together for my beautiful queen when I bring her up here. Because keep in mind, when you come, when my guests come up here to share their stories, y'all, it's a lot to do that. Okay. So let's give it up for this beautiful queen. Look, y'all, there she goes. There she goes. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my love, for being up in here to share your story. I really you know I appreciate this. You know I do. You know
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on with you tonight.
and as I stated earlier, this topic is a topic that need to be shared and talked about, because it is true, because I can talk, I'm one of them fatherless daughters too, and a lot of your story that you're going to share, I can relate to. I can
Mm.
relate to. Yes, the forgiveness part, all of that. We're gonna get into all of that. Okay, y'all just bear with me. I promise you, Lord, I'm not gonna bombard you with a whole lot of questions.
Mhm.
I
You
promise
can
you
if you will.
that. But we're gonna get into this. We definitely is. So, if anybody have any questions, put in the comment section, and trust me, I do come back and look at the comments. I do stop a little bit and check my comments. Okay, I try to look at the ones that's on YouTube as well. That's on another screen. I try to see those comments as well, and TikTok. I try to do all of it. Try to watch everything. But if I don't see your comment, don't think I'm egging it. It's nothing like that. But I'm actually trying to watch three different screens here. Okay. Okay. So, whew, first question is, take us back to your childhood. What did growing up without your father do to you emotionally, not just on the surface, but deep down?
Well, let me start by saying I was raised in a home. My mother was the voice of authority. Me and my sister grew up in the home. Um, of course, in a fatherless home. And for the entire time of my childhood, it was fatherless. My father was out of the home from
Wow.
birth
Wow.
all the way up until I was a full grown adult. Is I was without a father figure, period.
What?
And for me, the times that he would enter or be exposed in my life, it was always a point of disappointment, broken
Oh.
promises. I'm coming to see you guys, that type of thing. Me and my sister were those two people that would be sitting to the side many times waiting on him to come, and he never show up. So I know a lot of times you see that type of thing on television, but we
Yes.
live that in
Yes.
real life.
In real life.
So broken promises, disappointment was a part of my normal growing up as a child, because my father and mother were never together. They separated when my mother was pregnant with me. So
Mm.
I never experienced my father in the home, period. So my childhood, as it relates to that, was just a lot of disappointment, a lot of broken promises. And to the extent that as the older I got, it was like I would always say my father was dead to me,
Wow.
because he was. And it developed into me actually hating my father, which is the only person that I have ever, spoken hate towards was him. Because it was just never a moment where I could say, you know, it was a good point for me as far as my father's concerned. So as a child, it was just that's just the way it was. And so I never knew what the voice of a man was, because
Hmm.
it was never in our home. My mother didn't have men over us to, in the home or any of that. So the voice of authority that I always knew was my mother's voice, and that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Um, as you got older, was it a time that you went to your mom and asked your mom why my dad is not here, or why my dad is not around, why my daddy don't call, like, was it a time that you actually went to your mom and asked her, Mom, what is going on? Why my daddy, is not here? What happened? You see?
You know what? I don't ever remember asking those questions. And my mother was not the one that spoke against him.
Oh,
Um,
that's good.
she always told us what our truth was. But she never talked against my father. She never talked bad about him to us. She was not that person. And I know that
Wow.
that happens a lot. Women do that a
Mm-hmm.
lot. They speak
Mm-hmm.
negative to their children about their
Sure
father or
do.
whatever their
Sure
experience
do.
was. But my mother only spoke her truth concerning my father, but she never spoke against him. She never tried to turn us against him. The
Wow.
way we felt about him was because of him, and not because of anything that she said. So no, I don't remember asking her those questions. What happened? She shared some things in terms of her experience,
Right.
but nothing that she spoke to for us to form an opinion because of what she said.
I got
Anything that we felt about him was because of him or
because of
what he
him.
didn't do. Yeah, it was him.
Wow. 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 I can relate to that. Oh my gosh. And it's probably somebody else that's listening to. What you said they probably shaking their head, yep. Or just gonna watch the replay, gonna be saying, yep, I understand that. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
but I say to women, I know that there are bad experiences, with mother and father, with
right.
children involved. But I would say to women, don't, and to men, don't speak negatively um, regarding the other parent. The
Yes,
child will
yes.
find out on their own
Mm-hmm.
what is or what's not.
Exactly.
You don't have to speak negatively. You don't have to try to speak, to try to speak against the parent, to the
Mm-hmm.
child. I don't
Mm-hmm.
suggest that anybody do that. That's not a good thing to do.
But as you stated, a lot of us ladies and men too will do that with their parents. I mean, I know two couples right now that do that. You see what I'm saying? They talk
Mm-hmm.
negative to it. If they separate or break or whatever, they talking negative to the child. And I be telling them, and I'm listening to it, or they'll call me, talk to me about it, and I be like, no, you both of you wrong. Cause both of them, will call and talk,
Mm-hmm.
different times and talk. And I'm not. That's not right. You don't
Yeah.
do that
Yeah,
because
I would
you
suggest
have
that
to.
that's
Yeah,
not a good thing to do.
but
Like I
a lot of us
say,
do it.
yeah, we didn't grow up, his whatever his truth was is because it's the truth that he displayed.
Tell it now. Tell it.
Yeah, it was
That's
the
right.
truth he
Tell it.
displayed. And basically, I felt that way about my father all the way up until I got married. And I never thought that there was anything for me to do or anything to restore because what I knew about him and my relationship with him was had been that way all my life. And so it wasn't until I got married and my ex-husband, and I always say when I share my story, he spoke something very profoundly to me, which he didn't even realize he did, but he did. And
Uh
he said to me one day, he said, you need a relationship with your father.
huh.
Yeah. And it was like, that's when after I, thought about that,
Light bulb came on.
was where the light bulb came on and it made me think, well, maybe I do. Because at that point I didn't, and I was a married woman at that
Wow.
point. You know what I mean? And so he said that to me, and so it just kind of the light bulb moment came, and then I began at that moment, not that very moment, but
Right.
soon
Right.
after that I started trying to do something to shake up some things as far as my father was concerned. And so as I prayed about it, the Lord put it in my spirit that I needed to reach out to him. But my thing was like, well, why do I have to reach out to him? Because I didn't do anything to him. He did something to me,
Me.
and that was not do his part as a father. But it
Exactly.
was like, when you know better, you do
Do
better.
better. Right.
You know what I mean? And so I was
Mhm.
nowhere near spiritually mature then as I am now,
I
but
got you.
I was mature enough to listen, and I did reach out. And I reached out to my father, first of all, by letter. I wrote him a letter. Um, and the letter was misunderstood. It didn't work.
Always be that way.
Because my father had moved on in his life and he was with someone else, and she had a daughter.
Mm.
And so my thing was like, you're with somebody who has a daughter who you're raising, and you have two daughters that you did not raise. And so I actually included that in the letter. So it was misinterpreted to mean that I didn't like the woman or I didn't like the daughter.
When it
But
wasn't
it
like that
wasn't.
at
It was
all.
just that I didn't understand how you can be taking care of somebody else's child and you have children of your own.
But you know what, Laurie? That's the way it is now. I mean, it's like that now. You got people that men that leave the girlfriends or the wives, whatever, and next thing you know, they over here 10 miles down with Sally Jane and her 4 5 children. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, yes. Let's just be real about it. 10 miles down the street, he married Jane. All he loving Mary Jane and her 4 5 children. They all piled up in the car, but he left you, and you ain't got but two by
Mhm.
him. So that kind of stuff, that kind of cycle still goes on and on and on. But what I want to ask you, do you think about this now? Do you think if he had, if your father had a man figure or a role model to know how he's supposed to do as far as a family concerned, do you think it would have he would have been different? Do you think that's what was his issue? I mean, just
Well, when the letter didn't work, but then at some point, I called the meeting with him, my sister,
oh,
and myself. All three of us got together, and we just had a conversation because Miss J, not only did my father not he wasn't in the home, but my father had said to me that he would give me away for my wedding, and he didn't even show up. So it just kind of added, added to the melting pot.
I can, yeah.
And so when we had this meeting, my sister said what she had to say. I said what I had to say. And my father's response was, he just didn't know. That was his response. He didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't
Mm-hmm.
know how to be a father. I don't know what his childhood was like. I don't know what his relationship was with his mother and father. They had
Wow.
deceit, they were deceased by the time you know, I was an adult or whatever. So I don't he just said he didn't know. That was what he said. That's what we accepted. And at that point, you know, we all cried and we said
Yeah.
what we had to
Yeah.
say and we
Yeah.
hashed it out. And what I want to say to people is that you have to restore the relationship, but you can't go back and get anything. You can't go
Woo!
back and capture what
Ring
happened
my
or
bell
what you
moment.
lost. That's over. You know, and I was just having this conversation with a man today who was telling me that he was having some challenges with his kids. And at some point he had spent a lot of time in jail and they still throw that up at him.
See?
And you know, and I told him, I said, look, you can't go back and get what you lost. You
Can't.
can
You
only
can't.
start from where you are now.
You can't.
What you didn't do when you were in jail, when you were in prison, all that's over. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't go back and try to make up for that because you won't be able to do it.
You can't. But a lot of us see that. I think that's where a lot of us make a mistake. We try to do that because
You
even
can't
on
do it.
TV shows, or even I've had someone to say to me about their situation, "Well, I'm gonna go back and try to and make up for lost time." You cannot do
You
that.
can't do it.
You
It's
gotta start
impossible.
from now. Day one, if he was planning on doing right, when y'all had that meeting, that was the day it's supposed to have been. It should have been okay. I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna do this right starting today. When y'all
Mhm.
had that meeting, cause one don't need to try to go all back there. That's
You
gone.
can't. And can't.
Start
And that's
right
what
there.
we
That
talked
meeting.
about that day. You know, hey, we can't go back and get that. All the
You
broken
can't.
promises,
You
all the
can't.
disappointments, all the times that you weren't there. That's over with. We got to
Yeah.
move past that. And so our restoration started from that very day. And
Wow.
I we restored our relationship, and I'm telling you, from that day forward, it was a beautiful, beautiful relationship. You would
Wow.
never think that this was the man that I had said that I hated,
Mm-hmm.
that I was so disappointed with. It started from there, and we had about from that day we had about 7 or 8 good years,
Mm-hmm.
and then he passed away.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
He
sorry to
passed
hear that.
away, and I mean, it hurt me to my core because I felt like, okay, here's somebody that hadn't been there for years,
Mm-hmm.
and now we've restored the relationship, and by the time we really got going, got the wheel turning,
Yeah.
then he was gone.
Things happen. Things
Was
happen.
gone. But what I thank God for, Miss J, is that I was able to restore that relationship, and that I didn't carry that the way I felt, you know, for the rest of my
Exactly.
life, and not being able to
Exactly.
restore a relationship with my father.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was that through that journey and through that experience is where I learned how to forgive.
See, there it is right there. Hey,
Yeah, I
Marsha.
learned how to forgive. Yeah.
Hey, Marsha.
And the forgiveness took place, and that taught me how to forgive for the rest of my life, even to this day. You know, there are people that have hurt me, that have disappointed me or whatever. Some
Mhm,
people I
mhm,
have restored relationship with, and many
mhm.
people I have not.
Yes,
I
yeah,
chose
me
not
too.
to restore and still have them in my space.
Right.
You
See,
know,
because
yeah, I don't, some
oh
people,
my God.
I've forgiven them, but I don't have them in my space.
And see, that's
Uh,
where a lot of people get it twisted, as young folks say. A lot of people feel like, okay, you done forgave me. That don't I've forgiven you. I don't know, we done that, but that don't mean you still gonna have continue to have access to me. That's
exactly.
over and done with now, dude. That's over, or ma'am. That's over and done with now. I have verbally had this conversation. I forgive you. Yes, I mean for real. Blah blah blah. I still love you as a sister, brother, whatever there. But I forgive you.
Hmm.
But that does not mean that means you can continue to have access to me because
Exactly.
we're not doing it,
Yeah,
and
and
that's
that's
where a lot of
important.
people think.
Yeah, that's important that people understand what forgiveness really is. Yeah, you need to forgive him. And forgiveness needs to look like, Miss J, that that person can still be in your presence and not affect you. If
Thank
that
you.
person still affects you when they
Yes,
enter into the room or the
yes.
whatever, then you still have some things you need to hash
Yes,
out or
yes.
get rid of or
Exactly.
deal with.
So true.
Because you can, they should still be able to enter into the room where you
Mm-hmm.
are, and you should be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. You're
You know,
definitely right with
but
that.
if this person, you still feel hurt, you still feel disturbed with them just being in the room, then there's still some things that you need to work out and deal
And that
with.
needs to be, and that definitely needs to be taken care of, because if
Yeah.
you don't, y'all may not realize it, but I'm gonna give you a little nugget right here. Our bodies carry our emotions, and and our stomach is the core part of it. It'll carry those feelings. It'll carry that hurt. It'll carry that pain. You might be walking on here, keep having stomach aches for years, and they can't find nothing. You need to see what's going on. I mean, because our body hold our emotions. It is this that our stomach is the center part that does that. It holds
Hmm.
those emotions. You got to get it straight, y'all. You have
Hmm.
to do it.
And
Yeah.
you know what we hear all the time, you hear people say all the time, forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you.
Yes. Yes.
And you know, it's easy to say that, that becomes a cliche and it
Yes.
sounds
You're right.
good, but
You're
many
right.
people do not take the time to actually forgive. You're still harboring, you're still holding
Thank you.
grudges,
Thank
you're
you.
still holding on to stuff. People have hurt you, whether it's your parents, your spouse, your ex,
Mm-hmm.
your children, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But you got to really come to a place where you really take the time to really forgive and move on.
And move on.
And move
Like
on.
that.
You still shouldn't be affected by, you know, somebody that hurt you or somebody that did you wrong. And some people might say, yeah, but you don't know what this person did to me. But forgiveness is necessary regardless to
Yeah,
what happened.
come on with it. That's right.
Regardless to what took place, you still have to bring yourself to a place of forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And that person may not come to you. Like I said with my father, I was instructed to go to him. He hurt me, but I was instructed to go to him
There you
and
go.
get it right and get it
Mm-hmm.
together and pull it
Mm-hmm.
together. And that's what I did. And it did bring us to a place of restoration,
That was
you
good.
know,
You did.
and we were able to move in a healthy place. Not one time did I throw it to him as we were moving forward. Well, you know what you did, and I remember what
And
you did. That was never ever a part of our communication.
wow. What?
Ever, never, it never came up ever again.
Because you meant it, both of y'all meant it from your hearts.
Right.
And both of you was on board with trying to get this right. So you can have the two people, but
Hmm.
is one of you still kind of like or are you all in? See, both of
There you
y'all
go.
was all in. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So you didn't feel and you didn't see no need to be throwing it all up in his face. No, no, no,
Hmm.
because you was 100% invested, just as well as he was 100% invested getting this right.
And
Let's
let me
get it.
share this. I'm
Sure,
just feel led to share this
sure.
because I know that a lot of women go through this. There was a lady that I was ministering to, and her husband cheated on her.
Mm,
And they had separated. They weren't living in the same home, or
okay.
they're not living in the same home. This is current, not living in the same home. But her thing was he was trying to get back with her and restore the relationship back so that they could come back together and be under the same roof.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question to her was, look, if you're not really able to come back under the same roof with this man and not throw it up in his
Come
face
on.
that he cheated on you,
Come
then it's
on.
best that you don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because if you're going to constantly throw it up in his face every time you get mad, or every time he moves wrong, or every time he
Mm-hmm.
does something wrong,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to throw it in his face. Well, you know you cheated on me, then it's not a true move
It's
forward
not. That's
because
right,
you're still
Doris.
stuck in that same place. And so I'm sharing this for those who might be watching tonight or who will watch later. If you're not really able to move in a healthy place once somebody is has forgiven or you have forgiven somebody, then you're not really ready to
That's
move
right.
forward.
That's right.
because you can't be in a place of forgiveness and still throw it up in that person's
You
face.
can't. Because you, like you stated, you're gonna keep going around that same old birthday. You're gonna throw that in that person's face, and then for that thing come in your mouth. We going through the same stuff we were going through five,
Mhm.
of course, cause you coming out of your mouth with the same mess.
With the same thing. Yeah.
How
So
do you expect to
forgiveness
change?
has to be to the point where the relationship is restored and you're able to move forward.
And if you
And
can't
if
do that,
you're not, if you can't take a true and real assessment of yourself and say, look, hey, you know, I'm ready to move forward. And not every time something doesn't go your way or every time something is said that you don't like, then you throw it up in that person's face. You're
yep,
not moving forward.
you're
You're
not.
still stuck.
You're still stuck.
You're still stuck.
Still stuck. And it's
You
not
know,
gonna do you or the kids or him no good.
nobody, not even yourself.
It's not.
Not even yourself. So if you can't move forward, especially women or people that are in relationships where somebody cheated, if you're gonna keep throwing it up in their face, you're wasting his time and
Oh
you're wasting
Lord.
your time
And the kids,
because you're not moving forward. You're
you're not.
stuck.
You're stuck.
Yeah.
You're
You know,
stagnant.
my me and my ex-husband, we got divorced and I don't know, it just wasn't the best marriage anyway. But anyway, once we got divorced and we were like having conversation. It was supposed to be conversation to kind of talk about what happened and what didn't
Right.
happen or what could
Right.
have been done better. And he still wasn't in a place of telling the truth. And so after we had broke up, he was still trying to go to lunch, go to dinner, and that type of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the very second time that he asked me to go to lunch, I went to lunch, and Miss J, so clearly to me, it was like, look, can you really take this man back and really be a wife to him?
Come on.
And I sat there for a minute and I thought about it. And my answer was no.
No.
And when I said no, then my instructions were leave this man alone
Leave him alone.
because you're wasting your time
On
and you're
him.
wasting his. If
That's
you
right.
can't get back together with him and be a wife to him, then just let this go.
Mm-hmm. You
And
did the right thing.
once I heard those instructions, I let that go and I have moved on and I've not ever looked back
That's right.
because I knew that I could not for many reasons be a wife to him again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But now
Mm-hmm.
I could have just took whatever money he was going to give me,
And
whatever
it's not
lunches and
like
breakfasts
some
and
women do.
dinners that he was
Like
going to
so
do.
many women
I
do.
could have done that.
Yep.
I could have done it
Like so
easily.
many women do. Yep.
So exactly.
So
And
many
that's
women
why I'm
do.
sharing that because if you know if you can't make a honest uh uh answer that question honestly, can you really be with this person truthfully and really be a wife to this person, really be in an honest relationship? If you can't answer that yes, then
Mm-hmm.
move on.
Mm-hmm.
Move on because you're wasting your time and you're wasting his time.
That part. That
Yeah,
part.
and so
A lot of
you
people
know,
do. A lot of people do it.
I was able to move on from there, forgive him for what was or what wasn't. Not saying that everything was 100% his fault because it takes two people
Yes, it
to
does.
either make the relationship work. It takes two people that didn't make it work. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always two people. So it wasn't just all him, but I knew that I could not be a wife to him anymore. So let me leave him alone. You know, no amount of money, no amount of lunches and dinners and breakfasts was worth my time. And
Yeah.
so I said, no, I can't be a wife to him. Let me move on. And
That
I
you was
did.
wrong. And it was good. It was good you listened to within you listened to yourself, you know, and moved on because if you probably would have stayed, you
Miserable. I would have been so
always
miserable.
yes, don't understand how doing stuff like that it diminishes your worth.
Hmm.
It diminishes women, and it's a lot of women out here right now that's doing. Well, I'm just winning because he pay all the bills.
Yeah, but
That's
no,
what you want
you
to
can't
do.
do that. You can't go out like
Yeah,
that.
no, that's what you been with this man for 13, 15, 16, 20 years because he paying out and you ain't got to pay nothing but spend your check. So yeah, why? I mean,
Yeah.
but to each his own though. To each his
Yeah.
own. But
Yeah, but
that new
where's your
relationship is so
happiness and
different.
where's your peace of mind and
Yes, where
what's more important?
yes, that
What's more
part.
important?
Yes, where's your happiness at? Where's your
Yeah,
peace of
yeah. What's
mind?
more important? What's more
It
important?
can't be no happiness there. It can't
Mm-mm.
be. It can't be no happiness in no mess like that. And good you got out of that. Good
Mm-hmm.
you did that.
And let me just share just some
Sure.
statistics, Miss J.
Yes.
Nearly 18.5 million children in the U.S. live in fatherless homes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
18.5 million. Um, four times or higher to live in poverty. There are behavioral issues, there are drug and alcohol abuse. Many end up in prison.
Sure
There are
do.
high school dropouts, youth suicides, teen
Mm-hmm.
pregnancy, and runaway. These are many
Mm-hmm.
of the statistics that are results of being in a fatherless home. Now, I thank God that I did not fall into these
And it could have
statistics.
been. I'm glad you brought that up. That was
Yeah,
in my notes, but I'm glad you went on and did that. Because when I do stuff like this, I like to give I can never say that word. And y'all know
statistics. Hmm.
statistics. I like to, and they know I'm tongue tapping. I come up with a lot of words.
Hmm.
I like to give that that kind of information out. But thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. And then I'm glad you didn't either, because look at the ones that has.
Yeah, and it's major. It's major.
Yes,
Yeah.
major mental issues.
Hmm.
And people, y'all don't understand. Slow down. When you're looking at those, those, let me say this. I don't want to sound terrible, but when you're looking at the people that drinks a lot, the woman of the night, you know what I mean. When you see those
Promiscuous.
kind of,
Yeah.
you say you don't know what that girl has been through. Even that guy done been through a fatherless home because he's a man. You see what I'm saying. You don't know what, especially this woman though. First, you don't know what that woman done been through that
Hmm.
they got her out there like that. Not and a lot of men feel like, oh, she'll be all right. She with her mama. But do y'all men understand this right here? Every little girl wants to be a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
Bell moment.
Yeah, that's a bell moment.
Every little girl
Hmm.
wants to be a daddy's girl.
Hmm.
Don't y'all forget that. Okay?
And
Every little
Miss
girl.
J,
Uh-oh.
what that goes along with that is that it's said that the daddy is the girl's first love.
It
Well,
is.
see, in my case, I didn't get that.
You didn't get
And
a
so
chance to get that.
another issue that falls behind that is that you have identity, identifying what that even should look like.
Exactly.
How to even
Mm-hmm.
find that in a man. You struggle
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't get that. I didn't. My first love was not my daddy. I don't even know if I even have a first love, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. She'll come back. That's the internet for you, y'all. But every little girl wants to be able to take their daddy to the daughter and the father and daughter dance, the dad and daughter dance. Every little girl wants that. She'll come back. Let's see, she'll come back. She'll come back. But yes, every little girl wants to be able to do that. Wants to be able to do that. Let's see. Is she back? She'll come back. But this is the internet, y'all. This is what happens. Anything, phone might have died or something probably. Yeah, the phone might have died. But you have to be knowledgeable of that. And the men, as I was saying before, that's the first thing they'll say. Well, she be right, she with her mama, but y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. You don't get it. Some men, I'm not gonna say all the men, some men don't get it. That little girl wants to be called daddy's girl. And it's just something about hearing that from your father's mouth to a little girl ears, to hear them say, "This is my daughter. This is my baby girl here. Come here. This my baby girl here." It's something about that, to hear the words spoken to you as a little girl. It is. It is. So if anybody that's watching the replay, y'all still put your questions down up in the comments, and I'll come back and answer them, or Lori will come back and answer them as well. Let's see. Y'all hold on for a minute. Y'all hold on. But while I'm waiting for Laura to come back, I will say that my talk show, my platform is got some new branches that I've added on to my platform. Um, hold on, y'all. I see her blocks up here. Y'all hold on. I'll be right back. Let me try to see what's going on. Cause she's still right here. Hmm. Hmm. I think her phone died. I think her phone died, y'all. But yes, my you will be seeing some new things with my platform. And I'm so excited. That's why y'all, this is my first actual live with a guest since December. Yes, it is. But I have been tirelessly working. New series, different series coming up. Um, I will have my new series called From the Desk of Coach Angela Johnson. Because those of you know, yes, I'm a talk show host, but I'm also a sexual health and wellness and intimacy coach for menopausal women and beyond as well. Okay, and my business 360 virtual coaching with Coach Angela. Been 4 years with that now. Um, so y'all will be seeing more of that, and it's going to be called From the Desk of Coach Angela. Now, it's going to be separate from a talk show. You will see me doing different when I come live, it's only going to be from that genre of my coaching, my menopause. Talk about stuff like up under that umbrella and talk about other stuff. Our well-being, our sexual health, our sexual wellness, health and wellness. That's what you're going to be seeing, okay? I'm excited. I got it all ready, lined up and ready. Yes. And I actually gonna roll that out on the 25th of this month. My first segment of From the Desk of Coach Angela. Yes. And I'm thinking about having a episode live after dark on Zoom with Coach Angela. Mm-hmm. Let me hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to call her and see what's going on. I'll be right back. Let me put this up. Hold on. Nope, not that. Because something has happened. We got to see what's, excuse me. Got to see what's going on. Because something has happened. Yeah, something has happened. I don't see what I'm looking for right here, y'all. Hope I didn't make a mistake and delete it out because I was cleaning my computer out. I really hope I did not delete it out. Oh my gosh. I don't know why someone telling me I did. Oh man. I think I deleted it out, y'all. Okay. She's getting ready to come back in now. But yes, as I was stating, I'm so proud of myself, y'all, and oh, I got so many things for y'all, and I hope y'all like it. I really do. Your support, it means so much to me. but my it's going to the live's going to be totally different. Everything going to be set up totally different, separate from a talk show from a Coach Angela stuff. I'm just waiting to see her come back in. And also tonight, I got something I'm going to present probably about 5 minutes, 10 minutes once we get her back up here. Um, it's a new segment that I'm implementing into my all my shows. Um, I'll let you see in a minute. Matter of fact, let me make sure I got the flyer for that. Hmm. I don't know where. There she go. There she is.
Yeah, we got knocked out.
That's okay. That it happens. It happens. But like I said, I appreciate you, being honest and transparent on what you were saying about, and it is it's people that'll be doing that kind of stuff just because, and I just can't see no happiness in that kind of mess. I just can't. I really
Mm-hmm.
can't.
Mm-hmm.
My next question is, what specific what specific daddy issues did you struggle with, and how did they show up in your relationships, your choices, and
Uh,
how you saw yourself?
I think the most difficult one for me was number one, difficulty in trusting men. Um,
Oh,
because there was no trust in my experience with my father, so that definitely carried over. Um, you usually, you hear daddy issues a lot, and I
yeah.
don't really toot my horn on any daddy issues. However, I had many. And once they really became relevant to me, I began to work on them because
Okay.
I didn't want that to be my, you know, I'm going around talking, oh, I got daddy issues, I got daddy issues, because I know a lot of women do that because
Yeah. Yeah.
they want to be the victim. I don't want to be a victim.
Come on.
um
Be a big
the
work.
daddy issues that I had was based upon my experience, and so once I really started identifying them, one was the inability to trust men, commitment issues, and commitment to the fact of, do I really want to make a commitment, as far as a relationship is concerned.
Right.
um Difficulty in just really setting healthy boundaries when it comes to relationship, and rather me deal with that, I just didn't deal with it at all.
Mm. Uh-oh. Gone again, y'all.
I just really didn't put a lot of focus on it because I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't want to dive into that. Another one is just walls. I think one of the main ones that really captured me was just I had so many walls built up, to just make sure that I felt protected and secure. And so
Right.
that's not healthy. um
Right.
so I think that's the one that probably affected me the most, is building up walls,
Putting the
having
wall.
walls built up to try to quote unquote protect, keep myself protected.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's the one
Yeah.
that I've had to work the hardest
Hardest on.
on, is just being comfortable being isolated, being comfortable being to myself, which is not always a healthy thing to do.
Thanks for being honest about that. Was there a moment where you realized and you said to yourself, I just cannot keep carrying this?
Mm.
What pushed you to finally start choosing forgiveness? Uh-oh, she gone again, y'all. Y'all see how the devil do? But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I gotta ask her if she got a phone to does she have a phone plugged up? Because it might be sometimes if it get down to a certain percentage of battery, it won't act right. Okay, you good? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Got
Okay.
you.
I don't know how much of what I said did you hear.
None. None.
Okay, so I'll just repeat what I said.
Right.
I said that a lot of times today, you hear a lot of women talking about, oh, I have daddy issues. I have daddy issues because they want to be the victim.
Right.
Well, that has never been my position. I don't want to be the victim. The daddy issues that I had and that I continue to work on is because of my experience
Okay.
of coming up in a fatherless home. So I never want that to be like, oh, I have daddy issues, because I'm not proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the ones that I talked about is difficulty trusting men,
Right.
um, difficulty in making a commitment in a relationship, and not making a commitment to the point where I'm cheating, but just wanting to make a commitment at
Make a
all.
commitment at all.
Yeah, that is one that I, battle with. And I think the one that affected me the most is building up walls,
Yeah. Okay.
needing to feel like I can't trust anybody to protect me, so I need to protect myself.
Protect yourself. And
Yeah, and
that's a
so,
lot for folks.
just having those walls built up, and that's not a healthy thing,
It's not.
but it was my that was my struggle, and I've
Right.
worked on it. I really worked on it hard, and I continue to work on it because
Mm-hmm.
it's still something that,
Mm-hmm.
it bothers me to be disappointed. It bothers me when somebody promises that they're going to do something and they don't follow through, and all of that is an extension of my childhood,
Yep.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of that is an extension of my childhood. And, it's important for people to, if you say you're going to do something, do it. And when they don't, it bothers me, and probably bothers me more than it bothers the average person. But because I grew up with broken promises and being disappointed. And so those are some areas that I've really had to work on. And I'll say to any woman or man and man as well, don't let that be something that you carry for the rest of your life. Work on
That's
those
right.
areas. Yeah,
That's
you have
right.
to work on it. It requires work. Yeah, but I think the one that probably affected me most was just building up those walls. Having no problem of being isolated, having no problem of being to myself. I'm cool with that. But it's not necessarily the healthiest position to take. I know that for a fact.
I appreciate you being honest about that. I'm sitting here looking at the next question I'm gonna ask you. Was there a specific moment or turning point when you realized you needed to start choosing forgiveness? And what led you there?
Well, I knew that, like I said, that light bulb moment for me really was a light bulb moment. Because at that point, and it wasn't until that point where he said to me that I needed to have a relationship with my father. Prior to him telling me that,
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about it, never crossed my mind. So
Wow.
it really was a very profound thing that he said to me, because it really opened up a lot of doors for me to say, hey, this is not normal. You
Mm-hmm.
need to do something
Mm-hmm.
about this.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Mm-hmm.
was at that moment that I knew I had to do something. I just didn't know what
What it
necessarily.
was.
So it was a step by step process. And I know that process may look different for everybody.
That was
Some
good
people
to me
may
to
have
hear.
to approach it differently than I did.
Yep.
Some
Mm-hmm.
people's fathers are in prison and been in prison all their lives. And
Yes.
some people have been abused, and
Yep.
some people, but whatever the situation has been for you, whatever your experience has been, forgiveness is still necessary.
It set. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
My bell moment.
Yeah, whatever it
My bell
is,
moment.
because somebody may look at this and say, "Well, my situation didn't happen like yours." Well, it doesn't matter how your situation presented itself.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness is still necessary.
Necessary. It's still
It's
necessary.
necessary. It has to be done. The worst of worst needs to be forgiven. And be able to move on with your
With
life.
your life. You got
Yeah,
to. Because
yeah.
just think if you wouldn't have pursued, reaching out to your dad and everything, right? You never know what type of woman you would have turned into. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You would have never known. But see, you had that chance again because both of y'all was 100% invested in getting this right and doing
Mm-hmm.
this in doing this. And I'm so glad it turned out good for you. But if it wasn't like that, you it's no telling what type of woman you would have been. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? How
Right.
cold your heart might have been towards men. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Because of that childhood. Because of that. That unresolved childhood issues. Because
Exactly.
that's what it is.
You're
Let's just call it
absolutely
what it is.
correct.
Let's just call it what it is.
Absolutely correct.
This is called, I'm not trying to be funny, but let's just call it what it is. Those are
Mm-hmm.
childhood issues. And then if you don't deal with them, they're gonna come right, they're gonna be dragging you on your coattail as you
Mm-hmm.
get older and as you get grown, as you get older, and it's gonna show up. It's gonna show up in some kind in your marriage, in your relationship, and sometimes relationship with your daddy. You see what I'm saying? If you're trying to
And
do
your
that right,
children.
and your
Yeah.
children, oh,
Mm-hmm.
especially your children, it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna show up like that. You gotta deal with it. And like again, I commend you for doing it. Oh my gosh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
so glad you did that.
And you
Oh,
know what, Miss J, and
mm,
let me just say this as
sure.
well. Um, you cannot keep holding on to what happened to you as a child forever. You know, at
No.
some point, you have got to grow up, be the adult that you're growing into, and make adult decisions. You can't keep saying,
Exactly.
well, when I was a child, when I was a teenager, this happened. When I, this happened, this happened. At some point, you got to let it go. Or my daddy, I could have blamed my daddy for the rest of my life or
Yep.
whatever, but I
And that's
can't
what
blame
some are
him for
doing.
the rest of my life. At some point, you got to let that go and
Let
move
it
on.
go. You gotta let it
Yeah.
go. But
You gotta
but
let it go
sad
and
to
move on. You
say,
gotta deal with it. You gotta deal with it.
there you go.
Let it go and move on.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sad
I'm
to
not
say,
saying ignore it. You need to
right.
deal with it, confront it, deal with it, but then let it go and move on.
What does forgiveness look like for you today? And how has it changed the way you love yourself and others?
Well, forgiveness for me, and I'm not saying that forgiveness is easy. I continue to use the word it's necessary though. But it definitely gives me a whole different perspective on people. People make mistakes. People
Mhm.
do stuff. Some people mean to do what they do, and some people don't mean it. But whatever the case may be, you've got to decide where that person fits in your life, where where the space is that you give them, or as you said earlier, what access are you giving these people? But the bottom line is forgiveness has to show up, and then you need to make a decision. Does this person stay? Does this person continue to have
That's
access
right,
to
Lori.
me?
That's
Or
right.
does this person I forgive this person and then we just part and we go our separate ways?
That's
You know,
right.
so it has really taught me how to forgive. There's some people that I've forgiven that I still allow a limited amount of access. There's
Okay.
some people that I've forgiven that I give absolutely no access.
Come on.
And there's some people that I forgive that continue to be in my space because none of us are perfect.
Right.
But
Right.
you have to have wisdom that you don't just keep letting people be in your space
Mm-hmm.
and continue to hurt you,
Mm-hmm.
disappoint you, and treat you like you're and don't give you the value that you deserve.
Come
So
on now.
there's a
Come on
lot
with
of
it, Lori.
decisions that need to be made when it
Surely
comes
is.
to forgiveness.
It surely
the
is.
o- the
Because you see,
overall conversation here is that whatever choices you make after you forgive, the most important thing to understand is that you do need to forgive.
you do need to, because it's gonna eat your body up. Trust me.
Yeah, you don't want to hold grudges.
In
You
pain.
don't want to walk in unforgiveness
Yes.
because it's not healthy for anybody. And
Uh-uh.
what are you really accomplishing by walking around holding a grudge and
Nothing.
walking in forgiveness?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's
Wow.
nothing good gonna come from that.
Before we close, I'm sorry if y'all hear this. I'm out there screaming ties. I do have a question I want to ask. Before I ask you the last question, I do want to
Mhm.
ask the people that's watching, either on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. I want to ask this question. And I want you to put in the comments, and one is going to be watching a replay. Do you believe forgiveness is for the other person or for yourself? Let me know in the
Mhm.
comments. And my question two is, have you ever struggled with forgiving a parent? You don't have to go deep. Just drop a yes or like you still trying to work it out. Okay. But have you ever struggled with trying to forgive a parent?
Mm,
Yes in the comments, or you can put I'm still working it out. Okay. That's for my audience.
mhm.
And let me see. My next question is, what's this is for my audience. What's one word that describes your healing journey right now? Okay, put it in the comments. Now for you, Lori, we're gonna close it out.
Okay.
What would you say to another queen who's still holding on to that pain right now? She's gonna come back, y'all. She's coming back. She's coming back. She is coming back. She got to come out and come back in. It gotta be her connection somewhere. Gotta be her connection. But again, as Laura was stating, we cannot keep holding on to this, y'all. Because you be wondering why your stomach hurting all the time. All the how you not feeling nauseous all the time. Why your legs and hands and feet and I keep telling y'all, our body holds our emotions and we have to release it. We have to release those emotions. We have to do that. Do you need the question again? You got it? Can't hear you. Tell y'all the devil is busy, ain't it? The devil is busy. She's coming back. The devil is busy. I tell you on this Friday night. But y'all put down in the comments what y'all doing for Easter. Where y'all going? Y'all gonna do it Easter? Well, they do the Easter egg hunt on Monday, right? Or they gonna do that tomorrow, Saturday. Let's see now. You good?
I'm good. What
Okay.
was your last question? I didn't
The
hear
last
it.
question is all right. The last question, my love, is what would you say to another queen who is still holding on to that pain right now? What would you say to her?
Um, just real the immediate thought when you ask that question is I would say to any queen, your value is far more important than you walking around tight and depressed and with a lot of tension. Because the moment that you forgive and bring your self to a place of restoration,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a weight is lifted
Yes.
off of you.
Mm.
And until you really walk in a place of forgiveness and make a decision that you're going to let it go and that you're going to really give yourself over to coming to a place of restoration. You're going to forever feel tense. You're going to forever act out, lash out,
Right.
walk in a place of being angry,
Yep.
whatever the case may be. But until you really walk into that place of getting in a healthy place, of walking in forgiveness and not being unforgiving, holding grudges, you won't feel that weight lifted off of you until you do. So value yourself enough to get yourself in a healthy place where you can really walk free.
That's right.
Walk free. You know, you don't have to answer for what somebody did to you, but you have to be responsible for how you respond.
You better tell it. You better say that.
You have to be responsible for you. I can't be responsible for what somebody does to me, what somebody says to me. I'm responsible for how I respond.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so I say to any queen, you are more valuable than walking around depressed, low self esteem,
Yes.
angry,
Yes.
holding a grudge, and just not really being free and walking with liberty. So you deserve it. Allow yourself to, ask the Lord to help you
Mm-hmm.
do what it is that's necessary for
Yes.
you to forgive. Ask Him to help you. Ask Him to show you what to do, how to do it. He will give
He
you
will
those
do it. He sure got
instructions.
it. He sure will. He sure
He'll
will.
give you those instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Just be willing to hear what it is that he has to say, follow
Mm-hmm.
those instructions, and value yourself enough to bring yourself to a place of peace and not walking around being weighted down with unforgiveness. And
Thank
that would be what I would say.
I love that. And because you can come to terms and you can have peace once
Hmm.
you really forgive that person or those people. Because some people got a lot of people that need to forgive or want to forgive. But once you do all of that, you can have peace.
Have
You
peace.
can
And
you'll
you
wake
want
up the
it.
next day and be like, wow, I should have did this 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I
And
feel
it's sad to
so much
say,
better.
Ms. Day, people have been holding unforgiveness for 15,
Yes,
20 years.
yes,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
time to let it go.
And you try, like I said, you trying to figure out why you're aching and pains everywhere.
Mm,
Because if you don't believe it, go look up emotional pain. I did a talk show on it a couple weeks ago. On emotional pain versus physical pain. You're gonna see the difference. And when I did that, I did my research on it, I was like, wow, I did not know our body carries all of that. And our
hmm.
stomach is the core center of it. That's where a lot of us ladies be having a lot of stomach problems. Okay? And you never understand why until you get it right. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, my love, for being up here. Oh my gosh. You have been so authentic, and I so appreciate you for doing this. And I know the people that's watching live or the people that's gonna come back and watch the replay, they're gonna appreciate it too. And I know this is gonna touch somebody, gonna run across this 4 o'clock in the morning and be like, wow. You see what I'm saying? I needed to see this. So somebody gonna see it and it's gonna touch them. Thank you so, so, so much. Thank you so much. Um, Now to my audience, thank y'all for coming in here and listening to Lori's awesome journey on forgiveness. Please don't take this stuff for don't take forgiveness for granted, because I'm
Mm,
telling you, you want to walk around and be a whole-bodied person. And if you got somebody or some people that you need to forgive, please go and do that. Be the bigger
yes.
person. Be the bigger person and go ahead on and for you to get it off you. Cause it's gonna
Hmm.
feel like a ton of bricks to lift it up. Now I gotta be honest. Since you was honest, Lori, I'll be honest
Hmm.
with this right here. I had to do this.
Hmm.
I had to forgive someone that really drug me through the mud.
Mm,
Okay, I had to do it, and I did it very unexpectedly. Um, a phone call this was years ago, and I could tell because my body can tell it. Okay, my body can tell it. I told the story. I told the story a couple months ago when I talked about something like this. Um, but my body was just all messed up. Aches and pains everywhere, headaches just about every day, every day. You know what I mean? I was harboring a grudge. Just going to put it on out there. So I
hmm.
was, and I was refusing to forgive that person for what they did to me. Okay, all those years just drove me through the mud. But during the phone call conversation about our kids, I just came around the blue and said, "I forgive you." And they were
Mm,
like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I forgive you." I said, "I forgive you for everything that you have done to me that made me cry and that had hurted my feelings and that made me feel worthless." I started naming what I was forgiven for. Y'all get that?
hmm.
Y'all get that? I started naming some of the things. And they was like, wow. I said, yeah. I said, it's time. Now let me tell y'all this. When I did that, it felt like a ton of bricks had lifted off of me. Because you're talking about 10 or 15 years walking around with that. And I don't like to use the word hatred in me for one individual. And I had to release that. So now I'm telling y'all, go be the bigger person, release it, and I can guarantee you your body gonna start loving you again. Okay? Because that's where a lot of our hurts and pains and inflammation and all this stuff is coming from, y'all. Don't believe me? Ask your doctor. Don't believe me? Ask your doctor how our body carries it. But I'm telling y'all, I felt when I did that, it felt like a whole bunch of bricks been lifted up off me. And I'm so glad it's no more aches and pains or nothing like that. Nothing like that. That was when I caught the correlation. That's what was going on with me for those years. So yes, do your due diligence. Go be the bigger person and forgive whoever you need to. I mean, if you don't want to say it in person, say it in the text.
Yeah, just say
Just say
it.
it. Just let that person
Yeah.
know you forgive them. Okay. And move on. And move on. Don't talk about it no more. Okay. Thank y'all for being in here. Thank y'all for being in here. Get ready for some awesome guests the rest of the months in May and June. It's April, May, and June. Got some awesome guests coming. Get ready for those, okay? Got some awesome topics coming. And as I stated before, if anybody have a topic or some topics they would like for me to discuss and talk about, and if you would like to be a special co-host with me on that particular topic, or if you see a topic that you would like to co-host with me about, put in the comments and I send you the information to fill out. And we'll get together and see which episode you want to be my special co-host. Okay. I'm looking for co-host with me. I'm looking for some. Okay. Thank y'all so much, Lori. I love you, my
Thank you.
sister. I
I
love
love
you,
you
my sister.
too.
I really, really do. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much for having me.
Oh, anytime. You already know that. With that being said,
Bye-bye.